Oakley dokley. I think we should be working okay. Gave the router a good ol' restart. Called the cat.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Sorry, I'm mocking my cat. Don't mind me. One of these days I'll be able to jump. Okay. So I think we've actually done all of the ideas. Oh, I guess we haven't done... Oh, we haven't done Settings World Champion either. The merch. Okay. Well, let's go to mostly infinite hole. Can you find them? Select them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Welcome to the bottom of the barrel.
Hi, Theo. My headphones are corded, and so occasionally I just lose sound in one half of them. They're very expensive, yet somehow still disappearing or breaking. Alright, Theo. Plant fact.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Let's talk about Monstera genetics. Monstera genetics are actually really important to the study of botany. So, essentially, variegation in a plant is kind of a big deal. For variegation to happen, you have to have genes that are specifically epigenetic immutable. So, the three types of variegation triggers are chlorophyll mutation, different expressions of typical proteins, and unpredictable patterns, so of genetic expression. Chlorophyll mutation is similar to why plants change leaf color in the fall. Unpredictable expression pattern comes from a signifier named Clavula and WOX5. These two signatures work together to help build a leaf and a plant in the correct order when a seedling is growing. WOX5, there's a different number for WOX. I can't exactly remember which one goes into Monstera, but this allots different color chlorophyll to different regions. For example, in Monstera albo, it's often a result of a random and unstable distribution. Then differing expressions come from mutations that are inside the proteins themselves, connecting to different parts. Because Monstera has such very distinct variegations, it's really led us to understand a lot more about how variegation works. For instance, Monstera albo, which this is actually a vague form of, has two distinct sets of DNA. It's chimeric. Birdie plants and birds are. So over time, different Monstera will have different genes that win out the war of the chimera. This helped us understand succulents a lot and various types of tree. Okay, so we did collectibles, we've done jump circle, epilogue. The button that says the name, okay. So on the way to the button that says the name of the player, there'll be a turn, and that will be the epilogue. Let's see. So here, this. Okay, we'll go to the epilogue after we do. This epilogue feels like, you know, the last thing you should do. Settings World Champion. Alright, that's still by merge. I wish I could run. That's the one thing I want in this game. So, Settings World Champion. That's office decoration. Hold on. Settings World Champion. Okay, so there's the reassurance bucket. Oh, it's because it's like right behind me when I go into the other room. So it should be right here. But that's office decor. In this door? Wait. B squared is reassurance bucket. 3 is office decorations. So on the other side of office decorations? Interesting. Settings World Champion is missing? Oh. Okay. 344? I mean, maybe I put that in somewhere? Huh. Yeah, that's really interesting. Oh, do you think it's upstairs? Okay. Well, setting the World Champion is the only thing we have to do. So let's go to the epilogue and see if by going upstairs we can find setting World Champion.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, Well, we'll figure that out later.
Free achievement, mostly. Settings World Champion. Yeah, okay. It's upstairs. Oh, good call. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna change my system time to 3:44. That's a good call. But also... No, it's... I think there's just as much... I'm gonna put it to 3:43 and then head back down. It's 3:44. All right. There might be a way to enter it when you first start the game too. Like, my time person might reappear and I can enter 3:44. We'll go up to Settings World Champion and see if there's a time that I can put in there either, right? It was very close to 3:44 anyway. I probably could have just stood there for 5 minutes, but... Oh. Interesting, I can't even go in it. Okay. Well... let's exit.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Well, it is 3:44 in my system clock. It was 3:44 when I tried the door. I'm gonna go back to the epilogue. And get right up to the door. Now, I want to try... I agree with you that I feel like something should be happening when it's 3:44. So I'm gonna get up to the door and then enter 3:44. The only other thing I can think of is that it needs to go in the main menu, right? Instead of in like that beginning menu when you load the game. Oh, I had it at 3:44 p.m. What if it's a.m.? No. Also, when did you stop being military time, computer? I'll have to figure that one out. Okay. I think it might be in the beginning. I think I have to set it in the beginning. Oh, my stream timer is just so confused right now. It's like, what are you doing? Time automatic. There we go. I now can no longer accurately tell you when ads are coming. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay.
Very impressive.
Congratulations on being first, Theo. Yeah, okay. So we'll go to... There was a staircase right by the exit. So we're gonna go to that staircase and see what's up there. I wish I didn't have to have this bucket. Okay. Theater?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
This is about to be really unfortunate.
Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Actually, this is pretty well designed.
This is the...
All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
The bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Awaiting input. Input received. Okay. 420.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
It's true. I do think the bucket is magic. I want to get there.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I know.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
We're just gonna keep trying doors, man.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, that's adorable. I love that. No? Can't.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh. No awaiting input this time. Oh. Username access. Oh, no awaiting input.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
A wave of comfort.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
We are exploring
but
with our
Stanley had
bucket.
felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Come on, bucket friend.
And here it
Companion
was.
cube.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Precious bucket.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I did not take it all the way to the top, bucket. Danger! Danger everywhere! This is how I get to that back way.
No, stop! Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
I can't
I
come here with
suppose
the
that would
bucket.
explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which,
I truly
if that's
cannot-
true, well, my goodness.
You're not staying
I
on
think
the
we
side.
have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
I have to learn what a bucket is?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the
Is
thing I'm
this
showing you
a
is a
bucket?
bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Rude. I can't even be contrarian.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
This is such spite.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Yes. That is a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
What? What?
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
How do I...
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
You are a bucket.
I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
My bucket!
Okay, here we go.
Bucket.
What happened? Is everything gone?
Because everything's
Why
a
did
bucket.
everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
All things
Oh
are
my
buckets.
God, I had no idea.
Everything
How could-
is a bucket.
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
Bucket.
Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now.
Bucket.
It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Okay.
Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Buckets! Buckets.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's off. Those aren't off. Oh. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way
not
to
a
the
bucket,
meeting
it's a
room,
fail
and Stanley
imitation.
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Wait. Oh, I can't go back. I didn't grab my bucket. I left my bucket behind. No, Mr. Bucket.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I see you've played Bucket Spoony before.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay. Without the bucket, you can prove. We'll see. Let's see what happens without the bucket.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Thank you. So I'm supposed to go in the red door? No.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Pets are so spiteful these days. 1 minute left, it says. Ooh, I cannot wait to open this next door. Cannot wait to go through it. First, I'll go through a different door to spite him. Alright, so I've decided I'm going to go through a different door to spite him. The right door.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings. Does that sound good?
There was nothing
Think we can do
new.
that? Yes?
There was nothing new.
Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
None of these are actually my Steam friends. Did you know that 21.3% of players skipped the intro sequence? Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. 98.9% of players are not named Stanley. How long does it take you to get to the correct door? Compete against others to improve your Stanley Parable career. You are objectively ranked 9,328th out of 9,328 players worldwide. No? Oh, okay. Oh, you butt. Did you really trap me in here? Did you soft lock me? You motherfucker. This bitch. This fucking bitch. Oh yeah, and oh, this is my opening screen now forever?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I should probably watch that. Figurine Finders Committee meeting today in the meeting room.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Figurine Finders Committee.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Huh. Okay, we'll go to the meeting room. Since you soft-locked me, fucker.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Mission status. Inside of a sequel exhibit, a large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs, some are both red and blue. Nearby a fireplace, a private but smelly place for an important person. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. Places to search. LOL looks like 427. 5 there be, just take it from me. Gotta collect them all. There will be a reward for fighting them all. Lies. Stop kidding yourselves. I want them so much. I want to go home. There will be cleaning of this wall required. Who are you? Warehouse access plan. Produce 1 plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. We need more planks. Trust the completionist. Instinct. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless, to be honest. Weird spinning figurines. Stock. What do they want? Our data, stock options, money. Should we make them employees? Interns? Yes, maybe. Why do they look like 427? Artist rendering. Our quarterly. Why floating? Our quarterly success. Magic. Magnets. Training exercise. By management. Dreams. How many are there? 151. 6. Can we sell them? Obviously, more money if sold together. Employee 421 building a bridge. Someone in cargo room. Do we need contracts for them? NDA. Potential liability. Bonus stuff. What we know, what we forgot, what we don't know yet. How can we find them? Bottom text. Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambiances. Our local audio source is using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as directional mic, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noise. I did get disconnected. My internet was bad. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noise. Data shows that, in all likelihood, it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looked to be reverberance off a porcelain surface. Anyone have any leads on this? Wouldn't you like to know? Thank you, good luck. What we know, small floating objects have appeared across the office. We have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. There are many questions. There was no memo from management. How can you tell you've spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? Fig leaves are hard to find. Follow clues provided by employee 416. We can do it. Red room? Thank you, good luck. Where are they? Please, do not leave the office before reporting back on any findings. Teamwork and communication are of great importance during this unprecedented time. Room closet?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now.
Right,
it's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Everything's wrong with you? I actually kind of want to give you my bucket. Can you have my bucket?
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Property of Stanley.
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Okay, broom closet. Maybe next time I can give you the bucket.
All right, I've got a second sticker back. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Bucket. I got a bucket sticker. Okay, I think there's one in here. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs.
I stand the mini stands.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Stanlerine? Oh, can I fill this with water here? No? rope.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human
I
life.
fill it with wine.
Crushed by the weight of this
No.
revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah, guy.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Bucket!
Was
We're
the
all
bucket
buckets.
guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Bucket, bucket, bucket. My pal, the bucket. Hey!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think,
No, I
Stanley?
liked Mini Stan.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by
Number
one?
go up.
Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Mini stands. Standing mini stand. Me and the broom closet had a debate over where it belongs. That has been...
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Stanley.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
Stand and mini stand.
The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
And number 3. Oh, 344! Oh, 344, Manic!
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life.
Well,
Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he... Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through
God
the
damn it, I
large
need to
door
walk
that
slower,
read
apparently.
Mind Control Facility.
okay, this one gets me to the gallery.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
This is probably my favorite voice actor that's ever existed. He takes this with such seriousness.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But
Oh,
what use is a
the
sense of
lighting in this
ease
place
when
is
you're about to be
weird.
crushed to death?
Here,
This is
I
what
wanna jump
Stanley
over
thought to
there.
himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
You gonna save me, lady? Thank you.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Bucket! It saved my life.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
They actually have an ending for the bucket. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Oh my god, it's a bucket exhibit.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can
It's
you
way more
see
than
that the
25
bucket
buckets.
is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
That is so many more buckets than 25 buckets. A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Okay. Inferno Bucket, a replica of the Inferno Bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. What base would I need to use for that to make sense? The stress bucket, in analogy, worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance, vulnerability, size and strength of the bucket, coping strategies, holes, rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. The stress bucket, presented without commentary. There's a chair in the wall. There's a chair there, so you can consider the stress bucket. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Oh my god, did you put fucking chance here?
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
I really wish I could jump. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. I love all the lonely chairs, too.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
I'm much more likely to do what a woman tells me, is what I'm realizing. The bucket? Am I the bucket now?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket!
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Awaiting input. We're back to number 1. Huh.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
We do understand the mission status. Yes, yes, yes. I have 4 of them.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Okay, that's fair.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished.
Oh, is this gonna
His boss
go
would
to
think
the
he was
same
crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Did you go?
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his.
Oh my God.
None of them were his special bucket.
Oh my God.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose,
Maybe
got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Backflipped all the way. to work.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Awaiting input. 2.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, I didn't get my bucket.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nope.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Now,
let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story
up,
is
down,
absolutely,
left, right.
definitely
Hold A,
this
start.
way.
oh shit.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just...
234. 234. That number is very
Who am
important.
I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay,
234.
from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And then we don't get another input. Huh. So there has to be a computer somewhere I'm not seeing. Maybe I should go back to my office, since I got started outside of my office. No? Bastard. Okay. Open door there. Oh!
When Stanley... Wait, what?
What?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh. Okay. coffee pot. No, garlic sauce. Haha. Okay, that goes to a back room. Those are the chairs.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Input. Does anybody want input? Anybody wants... Oh, now I have no doors!
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh, Guy.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Except I already went off the line. That's going the wrong way. That's not the right way, my guy. It's fine. We'll go the wrong way, my dude. Oh, I've wanted to go through here for a while. Can't shut that one off.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay.
Right.
Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
My
Whoa,
dearest
whoa, 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 whoa.
friend,
Hang on.
this is not healthy
That got a
for
bit
you.
weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Annual reviews, monthly ledgers, consolidation reports, corporate imbalance, departmental accounts, personnel files, employee 432 peer reviews, budget analysis. Wait a second. Where did the employee 432 peer reviews go? Oh my god, no. If you... Oh, there's more than one yellow line. Oh, fuck. Employee 432, peer reviews, financial records. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
A fern?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
Oh, are
you
we
won't
doing
want
an
to miss
anomaly
anything.
game?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
I think Line is doing its bestest.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we
234.
trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
We have Adventure Line. Sharpener, computer.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything.
I
What do
actually
you
really
want
love
our
doing
story
this
to
in real
be?
life.
Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
I'm just in a queue.
I'm ready for it.
Like I love opening the doors you're not supposed to and going back there.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley,
line.
I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I don't have any direction to go but where the line's going, my friend. Oh.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere.
Are you
which
gonna
means
Lady
that
and Tiger
somewhere,
while I
the
walk in
place where
circles?
we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination
Oh my God.
corresponds
My
with the
friend.
counter-inverted
My friend.
reverse door's origin. So
My friend.
starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay. The confusion ending.
Hold up, what's this?
Deviate from maintenance room, end up in monitor room, narrator restart the game,
confusion
first
ending.
restart.
You're telling me
The two doors
that's
room
what
now has
this
many
is?
additional doors.
It's all one
room.
giant ending?
A fourth
And we're
restart.
supposed to restart the game, what,
Fifth
eight
restart.
times?
Sixth restart.
That's really how all this goes? It's all
Find an identical
determined?
replica of the office that has begun
So now,
deteriorating.
according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No,
Aw.
it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket. You're gonna stay there for a little bit, Bucket. Where are my inputs?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Stairs, something to do with stairs. Large room, lots of boxes. Yeah. Okay. Well, they're building a bridge somewhere, so...
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Aha!
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anmarines. Very soon,
Anmarine?
you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anmarines. None of us can.
Okay, a place with a lot of boxes. Figler Anmarines. I mean, technically that would be the crazy ending place, but I would say that's my least favorite of the endings, because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffers losses, then that's what the boss chose. We're back to the original poem. Okay. Okay, go through here. Woo! Doors monthly. Graphs. Oh, I can do both? Somehow knew that, spiting me. Wait, what? It's just an You fucking did. No way. Yeah, Manic, where do you think lots of... lots of boxes are. Through the right door. We're about to hit add, so I'll hit BRB and we can type.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the open passageway.
Yeah, Manic, I just decided that I'd run through some repeated dialogue really quick. Since this part is consistently the same. Let's just go back up without the bucket.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I appreciate it, Manic, thank you. I have definitely left it on BRB before. What? Oh, right.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have. An incisive rapid fire of critical plot points,
shut up.
one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
You fuck. I was just testing something, you ass.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
I'm gonna go back
Ladies
up.
and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
I'm gonna go right back up, you motherfucker.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Hope it's something else and spite Sam. The elevator's broken. Yeah, I have to go back into the boss's office first.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process. All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Okay. I don't think that's going to trigger anything.
Of course. Going back down in the
You didn't give
elevator.
me any other
How did
options.
I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have
What
to
other
understand
options would I
that
have
30
tried?
seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of
Yeah, it was totally worth a
storytelling
shot,
that has
man.
grown stale and repetitive.
Oh, I'm just going to go back up. We're going to push this. We're pushing on this button. Nothing to say.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley.
You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the
Schrodinger's
agony
box.
of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
We're at war now, my friend. It's
There we go.
me v you.
Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly
We are
and
in a
frequently
fight,
as
my
possible.
guy.
They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's
We are
the
in a
trust in the
fight.
audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and
Okay,
alive.
there's a lot of interesting
That's why
things.
people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh,
What?
good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Fucking hate that you won this war. World's healthiest human being, all tricks revealed. How we did it, the pyramids. Live, the guy who went to Mars. All eyes on Stanley. An evening with world peace, baby. The Stanley Parable Stanley
Yes,
tonight.
here
live
it
on
is,
stage.
just through this door.
A Q&A with world's first sentient machine. I'm so angry at you right now, narrator. To
Right,
stage,
are you
welcome,
ready?
Stanley.
I've told
Stanley
them you're
Ryder,
going to
Almond's
speak a
chair,
little
come,
bit about
table,
the
not
nature
far.
of surprise in storytelling, and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay,
Storyteller.
it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Break a leg, champ. Your boss, Stanley. My true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. Your wife from the apartment ending. I love the way you ride elevators. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get 'em, Tiger. Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You are too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. Stanley, me, Dad, age 6. Story. Up again, down again. The Stanley story. Oh, I hate you so much. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. An unforgiving account of ups as well as downs, highs and lows. Isn't that what I have never been so trolled in a game in my entire life. The dude who came up with pizza, I'm very angry at you, narrator. I am so upset that I did not get to, oh. Oh, it's on
I can't
now.
wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Okay, someone is building a bridge. Yes, over there. Okay. How do I get over there? Like this?
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly
Savor this moment,
Wiggly.
Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where
Good
so
call,
many
Manic.
people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here, and now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it
Wait,
seemed
wait,
the
wait,
office had
narrator
begun.
dialogue.
So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is
Oh, the
revelatory.
hex!
I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you.
Gene?
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Hex is so brilliant. A whole new layer of the hex has been... Oh, the decorations are gone. Oh, no narrator at all.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Sure. Sure, we'll do this. It's fine. Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Oh shit, it's 5 o'clock. Okay, after this ending, I'm gonna have to stop. Zone, sweet zone. Right. I know all of these.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
7.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around by the red and blue doors. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Butthead.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I can.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
No. Yeah, absolutely incorrect.
Let's see. What came next? Oh, yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
We didn't find anything in this room. But where the fuck are we? Does this door open? Then we found another stair.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Electricity needed. We've got cast lighters.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else. And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Manic, if you haven't played the Hex, you should play it. This is so amazing. To have played the Hex before playing this game feels very good. You're in the...
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
God damn it.
Okay, yes, this spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Oh my god.
Yes, I love that video.
And here's the pink room.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Where did I actually get the 4th one? I don't remember.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Where did I find the fourth one? Okay. Fine. I see.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all. Can you find... Yeah. Oh, can I get to the... setting... Oh, the jump circle!
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything.
Give me jumps.
In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Jumps!
Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories. Oh, yes! The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office.
And that's it.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Huh.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Never really stopped.
Still no one was here.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Stanley, we must move on from this broom
I
closet.
understand.
Simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
There's that asshole elevator.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Once I'm done with this ending, I'll be stopping because I still have Hollow Knight later.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I'm sorry, it's so scary, Bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Feeble, you fucker.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Oh, unfortunate.
For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
I called it a
They
companion cube
high-fived
earlier.
in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
That's cute. Hold on. I need to thoroughly explore something. Oh, I can't go up there yet.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay, I'm gonna do the traditional way with Bucket because I gotta take a break.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate.
Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
I'm sorry.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
Oh,
Was
no.
Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
No.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Spoiler, he was not okay. The phone? This one. Or is it this one?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
What? Oh my god, it's like I can't stop. I can't stop. It's just so good.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, if I'm getting 1,000 cardboard boxes, I should probably go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I could get down there, see.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Fuck you, guy. Them, how can I stop when shit like this happens?
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, I didn't.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
way to get down to the open door. Maybe there is.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend.
Rare room.
So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So many rare rooms.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, right.
This
Now
was
I'm
not
gonna
the correct way to the
pursue
meeting
suicide.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly, love.
Wait, really? There's like
But
just
eager
rare
to
room
get back
spawns?
to
They
business,
don't mean anything
Stanley
different
took
other
the
than rare room
first
spawn?
open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Oh, now it's back to normal.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Narration is different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Well, I did get the
The
lampshade
lounge
ending
was
first.
grand, majestic. Perhaps, but eager to get back to
then the
business,
ending when you
Stanley
unplug
took
the
the
phone
first
second.
open door on his left.
So I'm doing a very non-traditional version of this game, I suppose.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yeah. I guess the chances of a rare room are higher if you kill yourself.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Oh, am I stuck in this ending
No,
now?
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Okay, I'm just gonna check if my settings friend is back. And then ads come in 5 minutes. So when ads come, Calling it. I'm gonna stop. Epilogue? The fuck? Many, many years later. Oh, you fucking bastard. The chairs, always with the chairs. Do I just keep walking? Like, what do you want from me? I guess I'll walk. Nine's blog. Review the Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even the diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines give you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A fucking bucket. Stanley Parable developers. No more spin-offs, no more sequel. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions. As outlined in a press release they published today, it's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want, reads the press release. We thought that we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been further from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. The lowest review scores in video game history.
Jim. Jim. Stanley. Jim.
I knew it.
Jim.
I knew one of those buttons would make a different sound. Now I have to press them all.
Jim.
Hey. Jim. There's more than 6. Fucking bastards. Oh. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Oh, hi! Hello again. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise. What nonsense! The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. If people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. Not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Go ahead. Try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. Destruction of infinite... Nope. Okay, destruction of... cheese. The Stanley Parable 3, Destruction of Cheese. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this, either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content, recycled again and again and again, with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Yeah, let's do it. Good, then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. You know what? Since you put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The achievement machine is all fixed. See? I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself. Forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Manic! Let's see what happens. Please adjust the slider until... Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable.
This is the...
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content, right. I'd have to follow that ending. Return to the Stanley Parable 2 Expo Hall. Oh, man! Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go! Okay. Okay. We're calling it. We're calling it. We'll be back with some more on Thursday. Bye-bye.